Hey, what's up everyone? My name is techgeekjosh, back again with a new video. And this time, we will be unboxing and taking a first look at this $13 smartphone. This is the ZTE Blade Vantage. Now, before I get right into the video, I would like to say that I happened to see this phone at least a couple weeks ago for the $13 price tag. And if you guys do not believe me for whatever reason, well, I have my receipt right here ready to show you guys. So there we go. And if you can see 13 and 13, that's simply because I bought two of these suckers, the actual phones. So today we'll be unboxing and taking a first look at this one and basically seeing how good is a $13 smartphone. And the other one is, well, basically just going to be as a backup if I, for whatever reason, break this phone or lose it or someone steals it. So, as opposed to my previous phones I have unboxed on the channel, I don't necessarily care too much about this one simply because of that super cheap price tag. And, well, it's just a basic phone that I will get into, well, right now. So, some specs of the ZTE Blade Vantage is a 5-inch display, 8-megapixel rear camera, and a 2,500 milliamp hour removable battery, which is quite rare these days. You don't see removable batteries in that many phones. And on the back, the package contains the phone itself, the 4G LTE SIM card, which is pre-installed, the 2,500 milliamp hour battery, wall and USB charger, and Verizon brochures. And then here are some more specs. The phone color is gray. It does have 16 gigabytes of ROM with, I think, either 1.5 to 2 gigabytes of RAM, up to 256 gigabytes expandable. Weight is 5.3 ounces. It does have a pretty mediocre and paltry 1.1 gigahertz quad-core processor, most likely of the Snapdragon 210 variety, which I've covered many times on my channel. The 2,500 milliamp hour removable battery, and operating system is Android Nougat to be exact. So let's go ahead and rip this box right up here. That was an utter failure. That also was an utter failure. Come on now. Needless to say, that took a little bit longer than it really should have. And as you can see, I kind of tore up the box in the process. But since I have two, it doesn't really matter. And since it was so cheap, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's still mostly in one piece. And I'm sorry that I do not have my table. As you can clearly see, I'm back in my original place where I usually do a lot of my videos, because I've lent my small table out to a family member, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting that back or not. So just stay tuned for that if you guys are, for whatever reason, curious about where my table is. So here is the actual phone itself, and then we see that we have some accessories. Let's go ahead and pop the phone out and set it to the side. Here we got our white ZTE branded, oh, it's upside down, ZTE branded power brick, nothing special. And our white USB and not Type-C now, remember that, USB charger, which I have a million of them and I don't really need these to be exact. A white paper with an alarm. Then we get your brochures, activate your phone, ZTE Blade Vantage, and then meet your phone, prepaid customer agreement, sorry I'm not in frame, sorry about that, and consumer information about radio frequency, emissions, and responsible driving. And down here we get our non-packaged 2,500 milliamp hour battery, which I almost mispronounced that. So let's go ahead and pop the Blade Vantage out of its resting place. And there we go. There is our ZTE Blade Vantage. And I've got to say, it feels quite better than the ZTE Z5G that I unboxed on this channel. If you can tell, these phones are exactly the same in terms of design, at least on the back, with the camera up in that corner and the flash. Now, of course, the brandings are different because these are uh, phones for different companies. So, and I gotta say that this phone seems to have much more comfortable grip and much more rounded corners than the ZTE Z5G. So far, I'm really liking the feel in the hand of this phone. So let's go ahead and pop out our back cover, which here, right down here on the lower right side, if you're looking at it like this, lower left side if you're looking at it like this, the thumbnail port to pop off the back cover, if you guys have trouble locating that little port. Back is ever so slightly hard to remove. And then let me just go ahead and just cover up some things. So as you can see, there is our micro, or actually say nano SIM card pre-installed, and to the right of that we get our micro SD card slot, which I don't think I'll be using for this particular phone. And that basically does it. So let's go ahead and pop in our battery. Now that our battery is in, let's pop back on our back cover. Snaps on pretty securely, and oh wow, okay, my bad. Now it's popped on pretty securely, and it feels really good in the hand. It still does. It has some nice weight to it. Not too big, not too small, not too heavy, not too light. It's just about just right, especially for the price tag. So far I'm not complaining. So before we go ahead and give it its first boot up, let's go ahead and take a look around it. So up top we have our front facing camera, the earpiece right in the middle, and under that we have our ZTE branding, if you can see that underneath the screen protector. And then we have our space right up here, probably for some light and proximity sensors. That 5-inch display, it's probably the same resolution as the Z5G, but I would have to look into that. Our back, home, and recent apps buttons, which may or may not be in that order, but there you go, nothing special there. Left side, we can see that it's clean. On the bottom we have our micro USB Type-C. I'm mistaken, my bad. Got that mistaken. Micro USB charging port. To the left of that we have our headphone jack, which is also becoming more rare these days. And then to the right of that we have our microphone, and then all the way to the corner we have that little space to pop off the back cover. And on the right we get our power button right down below here, which has a nice texture. And then on top we have our one-piece volume rockers, which has no texture. On the top we see that it looks to be clean. And then on the back we get our 8 megapixel camera, our flash to the left of that, the Verizon branding, ZTE branding down below, and our single rear firing speaker, which many people dislike. And for me personally, I do not mind where the speaker placement is because it's not a big deal to me. So now that we got all of the outside of the phone covered, let's go ahead and peel off this screen protector and put it to the side. And let's give it its first boot up. ZTE powered by Android. So I will be back once I have set the ZTE Blade Vantage up. See you then. And we are back. So just so you know, I went ahead and skipped through all the setup. As you can clearly see, I have not connected it to my Wi-Fi network. And upon first boot, as you can see here, it just lagged for a second if you just saw that back there. But for the most part, it's been on for a few seconds and it seems to be relatively okay. So far, nothing special, no speed demon or anything. And as in terms of the bloatware, we see that we have Verizon Cloud, Verizon Message Plus, My Verizon, NFL Mobile, and that looks to be about it. Now, I'm not sure if once I connect it to an active network that it will like install other apps, so we will see about that in the coming days, but let's go ahead and jump over to the settings really quick. Let's go down here to storage, and as you can see, 7.67 gigabytes used out of 16 gigabytes, and available we get 8.33 gigs right out of the box, which is not too shabby. The system memory is 7.52 gigabytes. And let's go down here to About Phone and confirm that it is running Android 7.1.1 Nougat to be exact. Not sure if it's going to get the 7.1.2 update, but considering and knowing the specs that it currently has, I'm not going to hope for it, and it's probably never going to see anything newer than this software version. And as you can see, we also have the August 1st, 2017 security patch, and the model number is Z839. And while we're in here, as you can see, pretty basic stuff, nothing special. Airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, tethering and mobile hotspot, data usage, advanced calling, mobile networks, under more, view Verizon account, emergency alerts, and VPN. Display, notifications, sound, application manager, storage, and you get the idea. No special settings with this one. Let's check under display, and as you can see, definitely nothing special. Jump to camera, battery percentage, which is already enabled right up there. It's a big plus with me because I enjoy having the battery percentage being shown. And yeah, as you can see here, nothing special whatsoever. I don't like adaptive brightness. Actually, now that I turn that off, let's go ahead and lower the screen brightness just for this video. There, is that any better? Probably not. It's probably not a huge difference. So let's go ahead and jump right into the camera really quick to see what features we get. And then there's our little tutorial. So we'll just go ahead and say we got it. So up here we get our settings, flash, on, auto, or off, HDR, on or off, timer all the way up to 20 seconds, and our camera flip button, which, let's take a look at the front camera, the little tutorial right there. Yeah, the front camera is just not very good, but I was basically expecting the camera not to be so good, especially for how many megapixels it is. But then again, I'm in pretty awful lighting, so again, I do apologize for that. So down here we are in photo mode. Swipe this way, we are in photo, and then swipe all the way this way, and we are in manual mode, which I really never use on any phone, but you get the idea of what manual mode does. We got our back button. If we press that, it'll basically go, in this case, it'll go back to the main screen. And then here we got our effects buttons. That took a second. Lomo, sepia, mono, cool, none, comic, warm, mirror, and fisheye. Same basic effects that we have seen with some previous devices on the channel. And then right here will be your previously taken photos and video. Now before we wrap this unboxing and first look up, let's go ahead and take a quick look and see if this phone has emojis, because I remember showing that, you know, I remember showing on certain phones if it has emojis or not, and my apologies, I don't know why I stopped doing that, but just so you know, I'm probably not going to show it in every single future phone unboxing, but I have remembered this time. And it looks like we get touchpad keyboard, which here's the emoji button, and as you can see here, we get our emojis, and there's no shortage of them. It's all the regular and standard emojis. So yeah, definitely very cool. So there you have it, guys, the unboxing and first look. As you can see, my hands appear to be a little bit sweaty, but anyways, there you guys have it, the unboxing and first look of this $13 ZTE Blade Vantage. What do you guys think of this ultra cheap budget smartphone? Definitely let me know down in the comment section below. Do you own one of these phones? If so, how do you like it? Do you want one? And all that good stuff. Definitely let me know that down below in the comment section. And with all that in mind, I will see you guys again in the next video.